So I do want to introduce to you our presenter tonight. We have James from Avene. He's the East Coast Educational Manager for the brand. And I have a little bio to read about him so I can give him all the credit that he's due. James has been a licensed esthetician for over 20 years and has worked for some of New York City's top dermatologists and plastic surgeons. He's been featured in numerous publications, including Vogue magazine. And James has been working with Pierre Fabre, who is really the umbrella company that owns Avene, for 12 years, specializing in education. And I can actually personally speak that James is extremely knowledgeable and an extremely amazing educator, because I've personally sat in on dozens of his classes here at LovelySkin. And so without further ado, James, why don't you take it away?
Chrissy, thank you so much for that amazing introduction, even though I have to say I was the one that wrote that bio for myself. But you did a great job at introducing me to all the LovelySkin customers out there. So thank you for that. And I do miss seeing you in person in Omaha. I'm really excited to be with you guys tonight for this really exciting class on sensitive skin and understanding skin sensitivity and some solutions that we have for it. I'm just going to share my screen out with you guys so you can see a nice little presentation that we have here for you. I just want to first minimize this little taskbar out of here without closing myself out or anything like that. Let me see here. We always have these little issues with technical issues, right? Let's see here. It should now share the full slide for you guys. Here we are. Very good. Let me just scroll up a little bit. Okay, that's fine. All right. Well, I'm really excited to be with you guys tonight and to go over the brand Avene, which is a brand that's like really near and dear to my heart. Like Chrissy was saying before, I've been with Pierre Fabre for quite a few years. It's funny to think that I started with the brand right as I was 30, and I'm 42 years old now. So I've definitely come a long way, and definitely my skincare has changed a lot over the years as well when it comes to things like anti-aging, which we will be discussing tonight. We know we think of sensitive skin, we always think of soothing products, but people with sensitive skin also want anti-aging, right? And I think you guys deserve to be able to use gentle anti-aging products. So we do have a fun launch that we are going to go into a little bit later. I want to introduce to you a new product that we just came out with. But with that said, we're really going to be going over who the brand is, just so you have a general idea as to who Avene is, and then kind of what our solutions are for skin sensitivity. There are different kinds of skin sensitivity out there. When I was talking to everyone from LovelySkin and they were giving me information on this type of masterclass and what people that participate in these classes look for, they said, you guys are very savvy. Like you guys know your products, you know your ingredients, you know your skincare. And of course, if you are a LovelySkin customer, you really have access to some amazing skincare brands out there. So I do want to give you as much information as I can. I don't want to bore you though. So I will try not to make things too technical, but if there are some questions that you do have that, you really feel like I haven't covered, definitely put it there into the Q&A and we'll get them answered for you. If not during the masterclass, then definitely afterwards. But with that said, like Chrissy said before, we have our parent company, which is the Pierre Fabre Group. Mr. Pierre Fabre was a really innovative, ahead of his time pharmacist from France, from the south of France. And he, back in the 60s, created this Pierre Fabre pharmaceutical group. And in the pharmaceutical group, we have three divisions. So we have our pharmaceutical side where we actually make medicine. So we do have drugs. We do have some FDA approved medicines here in the United States. We have a lot that are in Europe. We also have a healthcare division where we make things like nicotine patches and sports rubs and more drugstore type of things. And then we have our cosmetic division where we have brands such as Avene. We have other brands like Glytone, which is one of our sister brands, another brand that is carried in LovelySkin. We have hair care brands like Renee Ferterer and Chloron, and these are all brands that you could find on Lovely Skin. What's really important to know is that all of our cosmetics are treated just like our medicine. So everything goes through very strict quality control and guidelines and testing. There's a lot of clinical studies. Of course, we are a European brand, so we really follow the kind of strict European standards and regulations. And with that, when you really think of our divisions, they all complement each other. So in Europe, let's say you were going to get prescribed a medication and you were going to go to your pharmacist, your pharmacy, right, to get your prescription filled. There's usually a side effect that comes with certain medications, right? We know typical ones for like oral drugs are going to be things like hair loss. Some topical things might cause sensitivity, dryness, sensitivity to the sun. So the pharmacist is going to fill your prescription, but also say, oh, you know, you might get some dry skin, you might get some sensitivity, you might be sensitive to the sun. So I'd like to recommend some Avene products to you for adjunctive care. So we have this long history with pharmacy. And in Europe, we actually are the #1 skincare brand in pharmacies, Avene. The brand, of course, what we specialize in, what we're known for is sensitive skin, which is, of course, our topic for today. And they say that here in the United States, something like 52% of Americans say they're sensitive. And it's such a common skin condition, right? I mean, we know that there's all different kinds of skin sensitivity. People that have rosacea is a type of sensitivity. There are people that are reactive, you know, specifically to ingredients. So they maybe get dermatitis very easily, or people that get eczema. There's all different kinds of skin sensitivity, and there's different kinds of needs. And we, as Avene, as a brand that's dedicated to sensitive skin, have really identified that. And we really have different ranges to address those specific kinds of skin sensitivities. So the brand Avene, of course, is rooted in hydrotherapy and dermatology. So we have our fabulous Avene thermal water, which we'll talk a little bit about more, but that water is in all of our products. So it's what makes everything in Avene really soothing and calming. And here in this slide, you could see in the top right, that is the small town of Avene. It's in the southwest of France. So if you've ever been, it's very close to the city of Toulouse, which I believe is like the 4th largest city in France. And the town it's spectacular. It's so tiny. I went many years ago. There's one of everything. So you have one pharmacy, one cafe, there's one vintage store. It's super adorable, super laid back, and very relaxing. And then we have the Hydrotherapy Center, which we'll speak about, right outside of the town itself. And that is a facility that we have where we actually treat patients that have some topical skin issues. Just go to my next slide here. Let's see. All right. So when we think of Avene Thermal Spring Water, if you guys have not used it already, this is kind of the hero to Avene. It is in everything. And when we think of this type of water, it really is a water that can improve the quality of life for people, which I know sounds extreme, right? It's like, it's just water. How does it do that? But this water has very unique properties to it. It's calming, it's healing, it's soothing, it's hydrating. That's what Avene really all is about. It's like soothing and calming and hydrating. So our products are safe for everyone. Of course, as a sensitive skin brand, I always say, if we're safe for sensitive skin, we're safe for everyone. So even if someone's like, I'm not really sensitive or reactive to anything, Avene products are going to be totally fine for you as well. The Hydrotherapy Center is a really unique facility that we have that, again, is in Avene, France. And this is a facility that actually just opened up last month. It actually opens between April and October, so it closes during the winter time. And this is a facility for people that have topical skin issues like eczema, psoriasis, people with burns. We actually are now even treating patients post cancer therapy. We're even now treating people that have gum disease as well. And this is not a curative facility. You can't, you know, like with eczema, it's chronic, you can't cure it, but you can really help to get it under control. With this Hydrotherapy Center, what's really unique here is you actually prescribe the Hydrotherapy Center as a course of treatments. So if you go to your doctor and your doctor is familiar with the Avene Hydrotherapy Center, he'll prescribe it to you, and then you submit it to the Hydrotherapy Center. And if you get approved, you'll be one of 3,000 patients that come in the year, and you'll actually be there for 3 weeks. So we have a really lovely hotel attached to the Hydrotherapy Center. And basically when you arrive, you'll go through a whole consultation, and then they will actually pick out what your course of regimen or treatment would look like. like. And we treat children, children and adults. And again, with really, serious issues of atopic dermatitis and things like that. And what's really unique here is that we have different types of modalities to address different skin concerns. So we have hydrotherapy baths, we have sprays, we use it with massage. We actually, even for gum disease, have a specific spray to address the gums. And it's a really unique experience, and you're prescribed it as a 3-week course where you would go once a year for 3 weeks over 3 years, basically. And if you are a French citizen, it is covered by the French social security system. If you are not, and this is something that does interest you to learn more about it, we do have a website under the Avene Hydrotherapy Center website, and there is a whole menu there of what pricing and things like that look like. Again, you have to be referred to this facility though, so you can't just show up and say that you want to experience some Avene facials and things like that. It's not that easy to get into. What's really unique, interesting to know though, is with Pierre Fabre, we don't own the town of Avene. We own the spring, the water, right? And the water is what you're being treated with when you're in the hydrotherapy center. But if you live in the town of Avene, you can actually go to the hydrotherapy center and fill up your water directly from us. Otherwise, obviously the water is there. It's, kind of like your tap water. But I think it's kind of cool that we have this connection to the people that actually live in Avene, and that they, come to the hydrotherapy center to drink the water and things like that as well. So speaking of the water, let's go into more detail of what this water is, this kind of miracle water. I know there's so many people I speak to, they're like, I just don't understand it. It's just water. What's so special about this water? But the Avene Thermal Spring Water, it is the key ingredient in all of our products. So when you ever think of cosmetics, usually when you look at the ingredients, there's always water in it, right? Usually water is like the first ingredient that makes up a cosmetic product, like a moisturizer or cleanser. So instead of just water, we use the Avene Thermal Spring Water as the main source of water in our products. This water has a really unique composition that really helps to soothe and calm the skin. So the water has over 150 clinical studies on it, proving that it can actually calm and soothe the skin. Dr. Schlesinger, for example, is a dermatologist I know that for Lovely Skin that really believes in the Avene brand. He might even have gone to our hydrotherapy center, I believe, maybe in the past. But a lot of doctors are believing in this water. They're really understanding that this water is so much more than just water, right? It has this unique composition that soothes and calms the skin. It has a mineral composition that's really ideal for sensitive skin. It's a low mineral content. As we know, not all water is the same, right? Depending on where you are, can really affect the content of the water, the minerals that are in it, the silicates and things like that. So this water has a low mineral content, meaning it's not going to dry or irritate the skin. It also has a neutral pH, so it's safe to spray on irritated skin. You can even clean a wound out with this water, of course. And then we have a really unique biological property in the water too, this unique microflora that we've discovered after years of research, where we found that this microflora actually helps to have an anti-inflammatory response on the skin as well. So it's working with our skin's microbiome to really keep the skin in balance and really calm the skin. So there are so many different uses for the water. I have my bottle right here. Just to let you guys know, I did my cleansing already. So my skin is kind of prepped. So a little bit later on, as we finish the presentation, I'm going to walk you through what my little nighttime anti-aging routine will look like. But the Avene Thermal Water, this is a great way to soothe and hydrate your skin. It comes in 3 different sizes. I have one rule with the water I tell everybody is to spray it, don't shake it. Out of habit, people tend to pick it up and they shake it up like hairspray. There is nothing else in this canister other than the Avene water and then nitrogen, which is like a natural gas that propels the water. So if you spray that, if you shake that too much, the gas will trickle out and you won't get that nice firm mist that you really are looking for. So I don't know if you can really see it here on camera, but it comes out, sprays out really nice. That's how it should spray out. It shouldn't trickle out or anything like that. So this is my tester. I've had this for a very long time. I've even traveled with it recently. I think I went to Texas with this, and it has still sprays the same because I don't shake it. So you can use this water to mist your face. It's great to hydrate your skin. It's good to use post-workout after sun. If you have a excessive sun exposure, like your skin has been sunburned, it's really good to use as a compress. You can use it after hair removal, so waxing or shaving. Cosmetically, you can use it to set your makeup, which is nice, but also it's a really great way to hydrate your skin. You can also use it post-treatment. So if you're getting laser treatments done, or if you have eczema and things like that, it's a great product to mist to the skin to really calm it. For example, if you do have eczema, like any types of flare-ups of eczema, you can do a simple compress with the water by taking like a tissue or a Kleenex, applying it to the area where you have the flare-up, and then just keep spraying the tissue with the water, and it will form a really nice soothing compress. And you just keep doing that for as long as you want. So if you want to do that for 20 minutes, 30 minutes, it basically keeps re-wetting itself and it stays moist, as opposed to spraying it and then just letting it dry, right? Because once it dries, it's dried. I also love to use the water prior to my serums and moisturizers. As you guys probably know already, you want to keep your skin nice and hydrated. You want to kind of have your skin a little damp when you're putting on serums and moisturizers, so you can really lock that hydration in. So I always give myself a little mist. I kind of press that in, take my serum, apply my serum, and then my moisturizer. And then if I need to mist my face throughout the day just to rehydrate, it's great to do that as well.
Hey, James.
Yes.
Before we move on, we had a question come in specifically about the thermal spring water. Somebody submitted before the session started, just asking if it's okay to use the spring water on the eyelids to relieve itching.
Oh, yes, absolutely. It's great to spray to the eyelids. If you get dermatitis on your eyelids, you could spray the water everywhere. So all over face and body. If it gets into your eyes, it will not sting or burn. It has a neutral pH of 7, so no irritation. So absolutely spray away, spray to the eyelids if you get eczema on your eyelids and things like that. So great question.
Thank you.
Yeah, so here you can see some of the amazing clinical studies. I'm not going to go into detail of all these, but we can really see that the water has been very, very much researched over the years, multiple publications, multiple clinical studies. It really is more than just water, right? It's so much more than that. And remember that water is in all of our products. So again, the water does come in 3 different sizes. You have a large water, which is the one I was just holding. You have a medium size, and you have a little travel size that's great for travel if you're going to be on long flights and things like that. All right, so going into sensitive skin, hypersensitive skin, I have a poll here. We have a poll question for you guys. I would love for you guys to answer. The question is, how sensitive or reactive is your skin? So pick one of those there. I'm gonna actually do one myself because I'm not really that sensitive. So I'm gonna do not very sensitive myself. There we go. Would love to know how your level of sensitivity is. So you're either not very sensitive, you're quite sensitive, you're very sensitive, hyperreactive, or you're just not quite sure. So let's see here. The answers are, most people are not very sensitive, but actually you're either not very sensitive or quite sensitive. So it's kind of tied there. And then there are about 19% of people that are very sensitive, and then a small percentage of you guys that are not quite sure. Well, very good. Well, hopefully by the end of this, you'll have a better understanding of your skin sensitivity. So they do say that here in the US, 51% of women in the US say that they have some form of skin sensitivity. And that could be different things. It could be environmental, it could be stress related, it could be seasonal things, allergies and whatnot. It could be using products that are just irritating the skin as well. Just go there. So what is hypersensitive skin? Hypersensitive or reactive skin or intolerant skin or allergic skin is skin that basically reacts to like everything. Everything triggers your skin. So any kind of ingredient, if it has fragrance in it, maybe if it has preservatives in it, which there's nothing wrong with preservatives, they're amazing and important to have in cosmetics, but some people are very sensitive to that type of ingredient. You have abnormal responses in the form of tingling, redness, skin discomfort. So if you notice you're feeling that kind of tightness and pulling on the skin, that could be a sign of sensitivity. The skin is really unpredictable. That's like, I think, really important when it comes to your skincare, is like you just don't know what's going to set your skin off. And what's really important, honestly, when it comes to sensitive skin is identifying what your triggers are. So what is it that causes sensitivity for you? Is it something that has perfume in it? Is it something that maybe has exfoliating ingredients like acids in it? Those could be triggers for your skin sensitivity. So we're also going to have an increased reactivity sensory and decreased tolerance threshold, which means that your skin's going to be so over responsive to everything. So anything that touches your skin immediately, it's going to respond, it's going to react, it's going to get red, it's going to get inflamed. These are kind of signs of hyperreactivity or sensitivity. Allergic skin is like even more so. Like anything, it doesn't just cause a reaction, it causes an allergic reaction. So we have our tolerance control collection. This is a really great line for people that are really reactive. They want to be very careful. They really want minimalist formulas. They don't want to see fragrance maybe in their cosmetics. Not that there's anything wrong with fragrance, but some people just can't use that. They can't maybe tolerate preservatives and things like that. This collection really focuses on restoring the skin's barrier. I do have a little video here to show you guys. Let's play it. It just gives you a little intro into the collection. All right. Oops. All right. So in this collection, as you just saw from the video, we have some unique innovations here. Remember, this line it's even though it's for people that are hyper reactive, it's really safe for anyone. So if you're just someone that doesn't want to have a lot of ingredients in your cosmetics, you want to keep it really simple, this is a great collection to look at. If you're using maybe actives, if you're using serums or exfoliating treatments, and you want something that's just really gentle to cleanse your skin or to moisturize, this is something you can add in. Our products play very well with other brands. So this is a great collection to easily add into another routine, basically. Or for me, as someone that likes to do a lot of acids and I do lasers and things like that, I'm getting a Fraxel on Friday. This is a nice collection to kind of have as you're like, in your cabinet. Maybe it's not your normal every day, but if you have all of a sudden a reaction, you over exfoliate and your skin feels really irritated, this is a nice line just to kind of bring out and use for a little while until your skin kind of goes back to its like normal self, basically. So in here we have 3 innovations. We have the active ingredient called desensinos. This is a postbiotic ingredient, which is actually derived from the Avene thermal spring water. It comes from the microflora that's found in the Avene water. What this ingredient does, it's very unique, is it actually helps to calm the skin within 30 seconds. It really helps to cut off all of the signaling that happens when something foreign touches your skin. So there's like obviously a reaction that happens where if you touch something, it sends a signal off to your brain responds, and it basically lets off different kinds of responses, right? Stinging, burning, redness, things like that. This ingredient actually calms that, and it acts like a dam essentially, and it stops that action from happening. Because remember, when you're really reactive, it's like everything sets your skin off, right? In addition, this ingredient restores your skin's barrier. So we want to make sure that our skin's barrier is always intact. That's where we can run into a lot of issues with skin sensitivity, breakouts, things like that, as if our microbiome is thrown off. And usually that's from overwashing, using very strong things that are really stripping the skin can really affect our skin's microbiome. Formulation. So the ingredients are meant to mimic they're meant to mimic your skin's composition, meaning texturally they feel amazing. They go right onto the skin. They don't feel heavy, but also they're really there to kind of mimic your natural skin's function, which is kind of barrier, right? Protecting the skin. So this collection is really hydrating and it restores the skin's barrier. And then the unique packaging, which is only in the moisturizers. It's a sterile pump packaging that prevents air from getting inside of it, which means that we use absolutely no preservative whatsoever in the moisturizers of this collection. I'm going to skip this slide because I feel like the time it would take me to explain this to you would take up all the time that I have left on my masterclass with you guys. But this just kind of just shows the whole action that I kind of talked about before about skin discomfort and signaling and things like that of stimulants. This is the unique pump packaging here that we have in the tolerance control moisturizer. So you can see it's like an airtight safe that locks up and prevents anything from getting inside of it. These are the clinical studies, which I think are really impressive. Most important is the 30 seconds and how it calms the skin that fast, and then restores the skin's barrier in 48 hours. So again, I think if you're doing some kind of procedures, acid peels, laser, microneedling, or whatever, anything that's disrupted the skin's barrier, this is a great collection to kind of start using to kind of restore the skin's barrier. So in the collection, we have two moisturizers. We have a tolerance control cream and a balm. The difference between the two really is the texture of them. The cream is more for normal to combination skin, and the balm is really more for a drier skin. So it's going to be a little bit more richer and a little bit more occlusive on the skin. Both are great for morning and nights. You can use them around your eyes. They're even safe to use on children. Actually, I believe even infants can use this as well. No high-risk ingredients in here. It's even safe for people that are going through oncology treatments and things like that, because again, it's just very simple with the ingredient list, and it's all about restoring the skin and soothing and calming the skin as well. So again, you just kind of pump that out, and then you just apply all over the face. It really has that nice kind of texture to it. I love the cream. I'm kind of an oilier skin type, but the balm feels really great, especially as a nighttime product. Or if you are very dry, then definitely the balm will be great for the daytime as well. And as my little trick that I have, my little tip, I keep them in the fridge. So it just feels really nice when you go to take them out and you put them on, and just feels nice and cooling and soothing. There's also a really nice gentle cleanser in this line as well, the Tolerance Extremely Gentle Cleanser. This is safe for all skin types to use. It helps to remove dirt and oil and makeup. It does have an interesting texture. For one, it doesn't lather because it's soap free, so it's safe to use around the eyes. But it does kind of have like a runny lotion-like texture, which you have to get yourself used to it. It definitely doesn't feel like a normal cleanser would. It's kind of in between a lotion and a gel, but it's very light and thin. But it's very, very great. It's very good at removing anything off the skin without drying or stripping it. So this is what I use post laser. So when I go to get my Fraxel on Friday, I will be using this cleanser probably for the next 5 days afterwards, just to really gently cleanse my skin. And you can use it as a wipe off. That's if your maybe skin feels incredibly sensitive and dry and irritated, you can do a tissue off with it. But for me, and like most people, we like to use water, so we splash off. Never hot water. We know hot water is a big trigger for sensitive skin, so always lukewarm water, or you can use the Avene water. Also, LovelySkin has this amazing hypersensitive skin routine kit. I love a kit. I think when it comes to sensitive skin, you kind of want to follow a simple routine, and this kind of does it all for you at a really great price point here. So you have the cleanser and a really nice size, 100 ml, a full size moisturizer in the cream form, and then the Avene water. So this is an easy routine to follow. You just kind of cleanse, mist with the water, and then moisturize, and you're good to go. So this might be something that would be really interesting for you guys to kind of have if you're kind of like, my skin feels really irritated and compromised. This is what like a sensitive skin routine from Avene would look like, really. So again, cleanse in the morning and night. You can mist with the Avene water afterwards, and then treat your skin with either the cream or the balm morning and night. Apply all over the face, even around the eyes. And of course, protect your skin in the daytime with your sun protection. So that is one of the most important things you could do for your skin, is always wear sun protection. And we have a really lovely mineral sunscreen here that's really great for even sensitive skin. Moving in really quickly to a collection that's really a really nice collection that people really love. It's our XeraCalm line. This is for people that have atopical skin issues. So they tend to have really dry, itchy, inflamed skin. They may be prone to having eczema and things like that. This collection uses an active ingredient called I-Modulia, which is also a postbiotic ingredient that also comes from that microflora found in the water. And what it does is it has an effect on itching sensations in the skin. So this is a steroid-free collection. It really helps to restore the skin's barrier. It's really respectful to the skin. The whole collection can be used on the face and body, and it's safe for infants, children, and adults. The line has a full range of products. We have an ultra rich cleansing bar. It's a cleansing bar that looks like a bar soap, but it doesn't act like a bar soap. So it cleanses your skin, cleanses the face and body, but it doesn't dry the skin. It doesn't leave that soap scum on the skin that could like really cause irritation and dryness. This is really gentle. It lathers really nicely. Great for men. You know, there are men out there that like a bar soap, but again, it doesn't dry the skin like a bar soap. But this is a really nice gentle cleanser. And then we also have an actual cleansing oil. This is a really interesting cleanser that you can use on your face and body. Great again for people that do have really dry, itchy, eczema-prone skin, safe for infants to use as well. It's actually interesting in its texture. It's not a pure oil. It has a lot of oil in it. It starts out like a gel, kind of like a runny gel, and then when water hits it, it turns milky. So I love this as a first cleanse. So if I'm doing at the end of the night, if I've worn a lot of sunscreen, I really want to break that sunscreen off, I take a pump of this cleanser, I massage it onto my skin, I wet my hands, I go back over, it starts to turn milky, it emulsifies, it breaks everything down, I splash it off, and I follow with my second cleanser. So people always ask, do you have like an oil cleanser for like double cleansing? This can be used that way. And it is a fragrance-free formula, so it's not going to be drying or stripping to the skin. So it should be safe to use around the eyes as well. And then of course you have your moisturizers. So we have two textures here. We have a cream and a balm. Cream is going to be for your dry skin and balm is going to be for your very dry skin. So it's going to be more occlusive. It's going to lock in more of that hydration. Both are safe for face and body. And again, they're safe for the whole family. So infants, children, and adults. They come in different sizes. They're really great to really help to moisturize the skin. When you guys have really dry, eczema-prone skin, one of the most important things you can do is constantly keep your skin moisturized. So when you think of it, your skin is dry, it's not functioning like it normally should. So it's not maybe producing all the lipids it needs to keep the skin protected. So that's where something like this comes in. So you will want to apply this twice a day. If you're getting out of the shower, you'll immediately want to apply this to your skin before you go to bed. We always get that nighttime itch, you know, when we like get under our sheets and our legs feel a little itchy. It's because you're not moisturizing. So make sure that you're applying this twice a day, even though these will give you up to 48 hours of hydration. So they are really long lasting. All right, now we're going to go into one of my favorite collections. But before we do that, we have one other poll for you guys. And it is, what is your biggest skin concern? I would love to know what your biggest skin concern is. Is it anti-aging? Is it sensitivity? Is it acne control? Is it dry or dehydrated skin? So wait a minute and let you guys answer that. And I'd love to see what the response is. Anti-aging, I love that. I think that's everyone's concern, right? Well, good thing we actually have a little range that we're going to talk about for anti-aging in just a little bit. So before we get into that, though, I do want to talk to you a little bit about a popular collection we have called Cicalfate. Cicalfate is a collection for compromised skin, as I like to say. So if your skin is wounded, if there's cuts, if there's burns and scrapes and rashes, this is the range for you. I always say you want to definitely have this in your medicine cabinet. What's really unique about the collection, in particular, the Cicalfate Restorative Cream and the Scar Gel that we have, is we have what's called C+ Restore in here. This is a postbiotic ingredient that comes from the microflora in the Avene water as well. And it's really unique in that it actually works with your biome to signal to heal the skin. So this is going to really help to increase the healing action of the skin itself. So if you get cuts or burns, this restorative cream is something that you definitely want to have. It is very popular. I think if you guys don't have this already, there's anything, one of the most important products to get from Avene would be this. I think everyone should just have it. It's for your eyes. So someone that said that they have irritation on their eyelids. This is safe to put on the eyelids. If you have eczema on your eyelids, this is fine. You could use it on your lips. You could use it on the face as a moisturizer. You could use it on your body, cuts, burns, scrapes, rashes, you name it. It's for everything. I always say just Cicalfate it. Again, in here we have the C plus Restore to heal the skin. It actually heals the skin 4 times faster than if you didn't apply anything. It has copper and zinc as well, which also heals the skin and also helps to prevent any kind of infection. And then Avene Thermal Spring Water as well. So very soothing and calming. It's a nice, rich, creamy texture. So people are using it a lot now as a face moisturizer, which you can do that. It's great post-procedure. So if you're having any treatments like microdermabrasions, acid peels, laser, this is great to use immediately afterwards. If you're going in for a waxing and they maybe unfortunately burned you or pulled skin, have this with you. It will heal the skin really, really fast. Just apply it 2 times a day. And then in addition, we have a scar gel in this collection, which is really more for raised scars. So if you have had a surgery and you find you have a hypertrophic scar, keloid scar, this actually really helps to smooth out that overproduction of collagen that's happening. And it's going to smooth out that scar. It's going to really bring comfort to the skin, because if you've ever had a raised hypertrophic scar, you might find that the skin feels tight, it feels itchy. This helps to comfort it. It's using a medical grade silicone, which helps to kind of smooth out the skin. It has hyaluronic acid, C plus Restore, copper and zinc, all these great things to really smooth out the skin. And I just realized here that that's not, that the slide is not the Cicalfate Scar Gel, it's still the Cicalfate Plus, but we'll go to the scar gel really quickly. Here it is here. I got ahead of myself. So again, the scar gel, this is great for anyone that's had any kind of surgery where you feel like you're gonna have a scar form afterwards. It's really good for young scars. So anything under a year, this will be really, really helpful. If you have an older scar, this will not be helpful for it. And if you have scars that are more atrophic, like acne scars, this will not do anything for you either. So great, after C-section and things like that. Now, a great combo is Cicalfate Restorative Cream and then the scar gel. Use the Cicalfate Restorative Cream after the surgery until the skin heals up. And then as soon as you get the okay from your doctor, you can then start using the scar gel afterwards to prevent the scar from forming. In addition, we have a nice hand cream. So if your hands are really dry and eczema prone and itchy and cracked, we have a great hand cream that stays on the hands through 5 hand washings. So great if you're constantly washing your hands. And then we have a nice lip cream if your lips are really dry and cracked as well. So this is something you can apply morning and night. But with that said, since we have just a few more minutes, I want to go into a very popular collection for us. And knowing that everyone is on this call because they're concerned with anti-aging, I think we have to discuss our most popular range that we have. In particular, our #1 product in Avene is our RetrinAL 0.1 Intensive Cream. This is our anti-aging collection for people, for anyone to use. So whether you're sensitive or not, these products are highly recommended by dermatologists. They're recommended by influencers. People really love our RetrinAL line. We are using some interesting active ingredients in here. But before I actually go into that, I just want to give you a little information on aging, of course. So unfortunately, as we get older, everything starts to slow down, right? I hate saying that. I feel like I'm such a bummer right now. But, by the time we're 25, we're producing less hyaluronic acid, so we're losing a lot of volume in our skin. We're producing less collagen. We're losing the firmness of our skin. So the skin essentially starts to age. We start to see sagging, visible wrinkles, loss of firmness, luminosity is not there. The skin is not renewing itself as frequently as it does. So the skin doesn't really have that glow. It looks a little bit dull. That's like your natural internal aging. But then when you also factor in your external factors like smoking and sun exposure, that's going to actually speed everything up and cause more premature aging, right? So we'll see hyperpigmentation, we'll see deeper lines and wrinkles and things like that as well. So people are really looking for these anti-aging solutions, of course. And when you have sensitive skin, it's kind of challenging, right? Because most anti-aging products tend to be a little strong. And so we want to make sure that we have these kind of solutions for everyone as well. So what again causes the skin to age is repeated free radical attacks, which of course free radicals are formed from certain things like UV exposure, pollution, and these free radicals attack our healthy cells, which prematurely age us. Then we have the slowing of the skin cell metabolism, so everything slows down. And then the consequences here again are wrinkles and fine lines and loss of tone and elasticity and dullness and irregular skin texture. So people are really looking for anti-aging solutions. And of course, the most common, and I would say the most popular anti-aging ingredient out there is always going to be your retinoid. So whether it be retinol over the counter, retinaldehyde, which is what we're using over the counter, or, obviously the best is going to be your prescription tretinoin. Those are really, they have the most clinical studies, the most data proving their efficacy. So, obviously when you can, try to incorporate a retinoid if you're concerned with anti-aging. They really have a lot of clinical studies, and we've been using retinoids for decades, basically. So there's a lot of data there showing how effective retinoids are for the skin. We're using an ingredient called retinaldehyde, otherwise known as RetrinAL. And this is a vitamin A derivative that is a step after retinol. It's actually, if you put a retinol on your skin, your body has to metabolize it, and it metabolizes it to the next step, which is retinaldehyde, which then metabolizes into retinoic acid, which is what you guys know as prescription tretinoin. So retinaldehyde works faster than retinol, but it's not irritating to the skin as prescription tretinoin would be. So you're going to get the results, but you're not going to get that irritation, which is usually a side effect that's very temporary. Either way, whatever retinoid you use, as long as you're consistent with it, down the road, you're still going to always get the same results, right? So we have retinaldehyde, which we use in our nighttime products and our eye products as well. We have a new ingredient that we've just started incorporating into our new launch, which is our new retinol serum called bakuchiol. Maybe you guys have heard of this ingredient before. It's become very popular now. It's kind of considered a retinol alternative. I do this like that. It is not it is very effective when used with other ingredients. I don't think on its own it can replace vitamin A, but it is really a great solution for people that can't use vitamin A. They find it's too irritating to their skin. This could be really, really beneficial for lines and wrinkles, but also it's really good when incorporated into your retinoid routine. We have hyaluronic acid, which we're using throughout this collection as well. And then we have antioxidants of pre-tocopherol in the retinol line. Just quickly, just to talk about what retinaldehyde is, we don't have a lot of time, but this just shows you the conversion of retinoid. So if you're using something, let's say like a retinol on your skin, which again is over-the-counter vitamin A, it works. It's just kind of slow. It's like a turtle, right? So we think of it like a vitamin A as like a race, right? And it's really not a sprint, it's a marathon. You got to be consistent and be patient. So retinol will get you there to the results you're looking for. It just takes a while to get there, right? Retinaldehyde is kind of like that stallion. You think of the Kentucky Derby, it's like a horse. So it's a little faster. It gets you there faster than a retinol would. Whereas tretinoin, your prescription retinoic acid, that's like the cheetah. That's the fastest land animal, right? The fastest mammal that we have. That gets you to where you want to be even faster than retinaldehyde. Unfortunately, there are some side effects to those to the prescriptions though. So some people look to something like a retinal as a gentler alternative, and a lot of dermatologists will recommend or sell the Avene RetrinAL to get their patients used to vitamin A before then they actually prescribe them tretinoin. So in here we have two strengths. I call this the beginner strength here. It's the 0.05 intensive cream. It has a 0.05 retinol in it. Along with that, we have peptides in here to further enhance the skin and antioxidants. This is the one that I recommend the most. I do virtual consults a lot, and a lot of people want our retinol and they always want the stronger one. I always say stronger is not better, right? Go with the beginner one because you'll have less irritation and use it up. And then if you feel like you want to go to the 0.1, you absolutely can, but you can get the same results with the 0.05. It may take a little longer, but you won't have the irritating side effects. So we're going to use this at nighttime only because the retinol is not stable in the sun. It does have a nice texture to it. I personally do not use these like moisturizers. These to me are treatments. I think of them as like prescription retin A. So I use a moisturizer first and I put this on a small amount on top of it. So that's my little trick. 0.1, this is our #1 selling product in Avene here in the US. Everyone's obsessed with this. We've been using retinaldehyde for decades in Avene. So this is not a new ingredient to us. Only recently it's become very popular. This is what everyone wants. They want the stronger one, right? So you can absolutely get into this one if you are more advanced with your vitamin A. If you've never used vitamin A before in your skin, I don't recommend going right to this one. I recommend going with the 0.05, and I recommend dipping your toe in and taking it slow, starting maybe once or twice a week for a month, and then adding a night on every month afterwards until you can build up to a comfortable frequency. But don't buy the 0.1 and don't start using it every single night immediately, because if you do, you will experience some flaking and irritation. And that is a normal side effect that will disappear though. Then we have retinol eyes for dark circles and wrinkles and puffiness. So 3-in-1, nighttime only. Has a lower dose of that vitamin A in there. Great to use. Has a nice technology where it just kind of immediately firms the eye area and again helps to soften lines and wrinkles. We have an anti-aging day cream, so you can also do anti-aging in the daytime. This does not have that retinoid in it, so there's no retinal. It is using a form of brown algae in here to help to firm the skin and stimulate some collagen, hyaluronic acid. It's got mother of pearl. It has some wrinkle concealing agents, which means that it's a moisturizer that's anti-aging, but also has a little bit of a priming effect. So it will blur out some imperfections immediately. So this is a really nice daytime anti-aging moisturizer for all skin types to use. And then our newest launch, which is literally just launched just last week, is our new Retinol Advanced Correcting Serum. Guys, I love this. I use it myself. I have it right here. It's in my routine. I've been using that for the past month. The retinol serum uses bakuchiol, which is that ingredient I spoke about before. It's a plant-derived extract that has very similar effect to a retinol. So it's going to help with fine lines and wrinkles. Can be beneficial even for people that suffer with breakouts and things like that as well. Hyaluronic acid is in here, niacinamide, an ingredient we all love as well. So really great for restoring the skin's barrier, evening out the skin tone. It has a really nice texture. It is a very light, milky, hydrating texture that just goes right on. There's no fragrance in here, so there's no irritation or anything like that. One pump from the dropper will cover your face, your neck, and your décolletage area. You can use this with the other retinol products. If you want to enhance it more, if you're using retinol night already and you want to really step it up more, incorporate this into your routine. Or if you don't and you have a nice moisturizer, like a basic moisturizer, and you want to kind of turn your basic moisturizer into an anti-aging treatment, you can also incorporate this serum into your routine. But guys, this is an amazing anti-aging serum. I highly recommend it. I've been using again for the past 4 weeks and I've really enjoyed what it's been doing for my skin. I'm gonna show you this quick video here. We just have a few minutes. And I think this will probably be the last thing we'll discuss before we take questions. Right. Lovely little introduction video. Last thing, I'm going to speak to this really quickly, even though I could talk to sunscreen forever. Wear sunscreen, guys. That's the most important thing, right? We can't spend all of our money on good skincare and not protect our skin from the sun. The Avene Sun Care line is using a mineral-based sun protection. So we're using zinc oxide here to give you an SPF of 50+. You're getting 97% of radiation from the sun is being filtered out here with the sun protection. Great for sensitive skin, great for all skin types to use. It doesn't matter what your skin type is, whether you're oily, acne prone to sensitive, wear sunscreen. What's great about these is that they will not clog your pores. They will not contribute to irritation. You can use them under your eyes. They're safe for babies 6 months and older to use. We have a whole multi-layered shield here to protect your skin. So we have protection from UVA and UVB rays with the zinc oxide, blue light protection and pollute protection from blue light with and pollution, the multi-defense shield, and then niacinamide to protect you from free radicals, a powerful antioxidant, all in 2 different textures and non-tinted and tinted version. So the tinted gives you a little bit of a glow. I would definitely say better for medium skin tone and darker, whereas the untinted does not give any color at all, but it also doesn't really leave a strong white cast, and great for people that are fairer in complexion. So definitely wear your sun protection forever, guys. All day long, every day, reapply every 90 minutes. Make sure you're applying half a teaspoon to cover your face, your neck, and your décolletage. Your face, your neck, your ears, and bits of your décolletage. Quarter teaspoon to cover just your face. With that said, I'm going to take questions from you guys. While I take your questions, I am also going to kind of put my skincare on just to show you kind of what my nighttime routine would look like. Just want to make sure here, am I stuck here? Here we go. Now you guys can see me. I talked a lot and I kind of talked a little bit more than I planned to. So hopefully I'll be able to answer all your questions. We could do a rapid fire.
No worries. So I think I want to start with the retinol questions first, since we just finished with retinol. Specifically, we were getting a lot of questions about the new serum. So maybe we should just clarify that the new retinol serum can be used, correct me if I'm wrong, James, as a standalone product. Should the regular retrinols be a little too aggressive for you if you're just a little too sensitive to use an actual retinol? But also you could use it as maybe a part of an AM PM regimen, like using the new retinol serum during the day and say the retinol 0.5 or 0.1 at night, correct?
Yes. So you could do a couple of things. You could use it morning and night under your retinol products.
Okay.
So if you have retinol 0.1 intensive, you can use this serum underneath it and it will enhance it even more. You can use it under retinol day, or if you don't want to use the retinaldehyde products because those are a little too strong for you, then you can absolutely use this on its own with the normal moisturizer. So yeah, that's a great question.
And can you use the new retinol serum with a vitamin C?
Okay, so that's a very good question. So with vitamin C, we have different derivatives of it. And of course, the most common is your L-ascorbic acid. So we think of maybe like SkinCeuticals, everyone loves C, ferulic, right? Of course, that L-ascorbic acid is going to be the most effective form of vitamin C. However, it tends to be very acidic and it's highly unstable, right? Can you use the retinol serum with it? I would honestly say yes, you can, because the retinol serum, it does not have any vitamin A derivative. So you don't run the risk of it causing irritation with your vitamin C. It also does not have a pH that's going to throw off the vitamin C either. So I would say yes, it would be fine.
Okay, perfect.
You can absolutely pair it though with the Avene Oxidative serum. That's an antioxidant vitamin C serum that would work very well together.
Okay, great. What are you putting on your face right now?
So I just misted my face with the Avene water to hydrate, and then I put the retinol serum on. Right now, this is my little trick that I have for you guys. I use the Tolerance Control cream as my moisturizer. So I put that all over around my eyes, and then I wait a little bit, and then I put my retinol 0.1 on afterwards. I use like a pea-sized amount, and I just dab, 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 and that's it. And if I'm a newbie and I'm a little dry, I'll put the Tolerance Control cream back on top as a sandwich.
Okay, so you can use the tolerance creams then, or the tolerance products really, to help mitigate any of the reaction that you might get from a retinaldehyde.
You got it. You can use it with any. You can use the tolerance control products with your prescription Retin-A. You can use it with your other retinol products that you're using. It helps, like you said, it helps to mitigate the irritation and the drying of the skin. And it doesn't interact with those other ingredients at all. It won't have any effect on them.
And then one more question about the retinol products. The retinol eye, is it safe to use all over the eye area and on the eyelids, or are there certain areas of the eye that we should avoid with that product?
I would avoid the eyelid itself. I don't think you should ever put skincare maybe really directly on the eyelid. Cicalfate you could put on the eyelid. I would be careful with using the retinol eye right on the eyelid, but you can definitely go under eye contour area where we have crow's feet to the upper eyelid as well. But I would not put it right on the eyelid because it could slide into your eye while you're sleeping and maybe cause irritation. So you can see here, this is the retinol 0.1. It's about a pea-sized amount, and I'm just going to apply as so, and that's that. And that's my nighttime routine.
Let's see here. Okay, so this is actually a really good question, because even if someone doesn't think that they have sensitive skin, I think we've all had times where our skin has been sensitized, right? And one of the most common times that happens is when we get a sunburn.
Yes.
I think I know what you're going to lean into, but Kelly asked, what's the best way, or what are the best products to clean and moisturize already sunburned skin?
That's a great question. So, do you mean our face is sunburned or our body? Because if you think of your body, okay, first I'll just say body-wise. Okay, body-wise, just so you guys know, if your body is sunburned, you don't need to cleanse your body. Like the only areas that you truly need to clean on your body are your underarms and your groin area. So if your arms are sunburned, you don't need to wash your arms, right? So you can just I would avoid cleansing at all costs anyways, just to play it safe. But for the face, if you're burned and irritated and you do feel like you need to cleanse your face for some reason, I would assume if you are sunburned, you're not putting makeup on anyways. I would maybe consider the Tolerance Control cleanser as a gentle cleanser, not using any hot water, using cooler water, maybe even just using the Avene water, you know, maybe on a cotton round just to kind of gently like cleanse the skin. But you want to be ultra careful. And when we're cleansing our skin, that's when we're putting we're the most aggressive with our skin. We're putting the most stress on it while we're cleansing, between massaging, you know, the cleanser in, water that could be too hot, you know, tap water that can have a lot of mineral in it, or the cleanser itself being strong and stripping to the skin. So ultra care, the Tolerance cleanser would be great.
Okay, perfect. And let's see here. We didn't talk about any masks for sensitive skin. Do you have any recommendations in the Avene line for masks that might be great for sensitive or reactive skin?
Yeah, so we actually have we have another line I didn't discuss. It's called Tolerance Extreme. And that is for people that are like next level sensitivity. You're not just sensitive, you're like allergic. And so that collection has like half the ingredients as Tolerance Control does. So there's like 7 ingredients in the cleansers and moisturizers. There is a mask in that line that you can definitely incorporate into your routine. It's a great way to hydrate the skin and soothe the skin. And, you know, I know like with masking, any dermatologist will tell you that a mask is not the most important step in your routine, but it's self-care. And I always find that like it's a great way just to take care of your skin and treat your skin a little bit. We all want to do a little mask here and there. So that mask is really good. We also have an XeraCalm mask that I personally love. And that is really good if your skin is red and there's heat in your skin, right? Like it's more red and flared up, and maybe you have like rosacea flare up or anything like that. That mask is immediately calming and soothing, and it's got like a green tint. And I love that. I keep that in my refrigerator. I put that on. It just feels so nice and calming. So that could be a nice post sunburn, like not immediately sunburn, but like later on, a few days later, as your skin is getting healed and is like getting drier and tighter, to put that mask on as like a nice hydrating, calming mask.
Perfect. And then I have one last question. It's kind of a loaded question.
Okay. Oh gosh.
Can our skin sensitivity change as we age?
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. So I remember sitting with one of our pharmacists. He's actually like one of the heirs to Pierre Fabre. He's a Fabre. So eventually in the future, he will run our whole company globally. And he did a really interesting presentation on sensitivity. And it was something that it always stood out with me, is that what happens for one is we're most sensitive when we're young, right? Because when you think of everything is being formed when we're a baby, right? So that's why you see a lot of children with like eczema, atopic dermatitis. And then as you get older, you kind of grow out of it. You might get like a flare up of eczema here and there. So as you get older, you technically become less sensitive as opposed to when you're very young. But, you know, at the same time, as we get older, our skin gets drier, our barrier is not always there. It could be compromised as we get much older. So there could be a risk of irritation more if we're using ingredients that could be irritating to the skin. So it could go either way. And you know, skin is weird. So you just don't know, you know, how your skin ages could be different from how my skin ages. I've become less sensitive as I've gotten older, fortunately. So I don't break out as much anymore, which is so, you know, such a relief. But yeah, skin definitely will change as we age.
Perfect. Super great information. Thank you so much for everything that you've taught us tonight, James. Before we close the show, I do want to let all of our participants know that we do have a special offer on LovelySkin to celebrate the masterclass.
That's a good offer.
Yes, it is a great offer, actually. Yeah. 25% off all Avene products, including the new product, guys.
The new RetrinAL serum, yes.
So this is everything. And we're going to run 25% off Avene products through May 17th. I almost said March 17th through 5/17, 11:59 Central Standard Time. Our wonderful Ashley has dropped the promotional code in the chat for you guys all to copy and paste and have. Verbally, I'll just say it's A, V as in Victor, M as in Mary, C as in Cat, 25, AVMC 25. And again, that's in the chat. So James, I thank you so much for
Thanks, Chrissy.
Giving us your time and teaching us about sensitive skin and all of the products that Avene has to offer anyone with whatever skin sensitivity you may be facing at the time.
Thank you so much for having me, Lovely Skin. I love you guys. I want to get out to Omaha and see you guys in person. It's always fun training you guys and being in person in Omaha, which I think is the coolest little city. And thank you guys for joining our masterclass. And hopefully you feel like you have a good understanding of Avene and sensitive skin. And now you'll be able to make your product decisions. Hopefully that will help you more. And if you are getting that retinol serum, I promise you guys, you will love it. Just be patient with it.
Thank you so much.
Bye, guys.
Thanks,
Bye, everyone.